What's going on? Ironing clothes because unfortunately for me, even though we literally have nothing to do at work, I will be at work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I think this video is a good time to talk about the millennial resignation. Over the past 2 years, we have seen people leave jobs left and right. And a lot of people like to say, well, it's because people are lazy, nobody wants to work, everybody wants handouts, And while this can have some truths to it, and I'm sure there are people that really are just lazy and really do just want handouts, this is very true, I don't think we can paint it with a broad brush. AKA, I don't think everybody that left these jobs necessarily left because they're lazy or they just want to sit on their butts and receive handouts. I don't think that's everybody's case. So I want to talk about my situation. My issue with a lot of these jobs really comes down to the fact that, number one, we are severely underpaid. It doesn't matter what field we go into, what type of, some of the fields do matter, obviously. But in my experiences, I've been working since I was 16, 2009. So we're talking about 12 going on 13 years of working. Literally almost half of my life, I've been working. And in my experience, out of 12 years going on 13, I've only had one decent paying job that entire time. And that's why I'm like, this whole, everyone's lazy. We're underpaid. We don't really have incentives to stay at these jobs. Seriously, these jobs aren't even paying us living wages. The cost of living has increased. Inflation has skyrocketed. Everything has gone up but our wages, but our salaries, right? Like, minimum wage in the USA is still set at $7.25 an hour. And it's been that way since 2009. So here we are going into 2022, 13 years, and we're still at $7.25 an hour. Now, as President Joe Biden has stated, we don't have a federal approach. We got to look at this at a state level. Yes, certain states, that's his remark to how we're going to deal with COVID and the Omicron variant and everything else. But some states have increased their minimum wage, but it's like $2 over the federal wage, which is really low to begin with. So like in Michigan, I think it's like $9.57 an hour now, not even $10 an hour, and it's about to be 2022. And remember, everybody had that fight for 15, which, that was beautiful in 2010. It's 2022. We need more like 24, 25 an hour at this point so people can actually live, pay their bills, have a savings account, buy things that they want and need here and there, when you've got a bag of Doritos going for $9, when a package of bacon is $9, everything has gone up but your wages and salaries, and then they want to blame you for not being a consumer and buying stuff and being materialistic. Hold on. Mercy wants to go to the bathroom. You can probably still hear me even though I'm not in the video. But so that's number one, why people are leaving. The wages are low and stagnant. People are severely underpaid. And number two, people are overworked. Have you seen how a lot of these jobs are situated and set up? A lot of these jobs literally hire one person to do the job of 2 to 3 different people. You'd be surprised. Like in the job that I'm currently in, we're essentially running 3 separate programs and only being paid for one. And everybody is overworked, stressed out. And really, when you come into work and you're talking to your colleagues, everybody's talking about how they're living check to check, how they're drowning in debt, whether that be from credit card debt, student loan debt, medical debt. Then you have the people who, and I hate to say this, but in the times we're living in, unfortunately have children. Children are becoming more and more a liability. Okay, so anyone that's having kids, anyone that has parents or family members or other people that are dependents, anyone that's a provider or a caretaker, you already know how it is. You're trying to make your one income provide for multiple people on one income. And again, like I said, the number one reason, in my opinion, people are severely underpaid, followed by number two being overworked. Like I said, where I'm currently at, we're basically running 3 programs and being paid for 1. And then the other thing with the overwork part is this 40-hour work week. We've been using the same 5 days a week, 8 hours a day as a standard work week in the USA for over 100 years. It's old. It's outdated. Here we are with technology and the internet, all of these technological breakthroughs. A lot of what we're doing can literally be done over the phone, online, via video. But guess who has to drive into work every day to sit behind a computer screen? I do. And it's ridiculous. It's like you're literally driving into work to sit behind a computer screen for 8 hours when you could do that at home. Okay, not to mention, again, the pay is abysmal. Again, and this is another thing I've noticed, a lot of the people at my job, they all have master's degrees, yet most of us aren't even making $50,000, $60,000 a year. We're not even making $50,000 a year. But yet, people are sitting up here with master's degrees. And what's hilarious, again, about my job is when you look at the type of work that you're doing, like here we are, we're supposed to be, teaching other people about financial stability, financial literacy, saving money, setting budgets, yet we're not even being paid enough to live. We don't even make 3 times what, because especially nowadays with the cost of living and people having issues finding housing and apartments and rent being sky high, and a lot of these property management companies and some of the landlords, they're requiring people to make 3 times the rent. And I'm sitting here like, well, shit. If rent is $1,000 a month, I don't even make 3 times the rent at my current job. I'm losing nearly $1,000 a month in taxes and deductions. Shit is bonkers. It's just, again, the way we are done in this world it's just crucial and psychotic. People deserve so much better than what they're getting. And then number 3 is just the work culture in itself. You're dealing with colleagues that are essentially bigots. And you have to deal with that every single day, where when you're working from home, you don't necessarily have to deal with it, nor do you have to keep putting yourself at risk for catching a deadly virus and potentially spreading that among your family and friends and community. We're not even being paid hazard pay, even though they're requiring us to show up every day to sit behind a computer that we can do at home. And of course, where I work, and I don't want to stereotype, but it's pretty much safe to say if you're working for a baby boomer, you're screwed, because their view on work-life balance, on work culture, on safety, on health, on income equality is really screwed, right? Even though they're one of the most at-risk populations based off their age, yet they want everyone to be at these offices so they can micromanage and control and be, that's really what this is all about. And I really feel like then there are the employees that, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch, because apparently the person who was previously hired to do my job basically BS'd for 9 months. They were supposed to be preparing to take this certification exam and assisting in this position, and they weren't doing anything for 9 months. And I really think that person pretty much screwed it up for everybody when it comes to working from home, because we really don't have that option unless you're like super sick or you have children. And then those of us that don't have children, well, what reasons do you get to use outside of being super sick? Which, as you haven't heard, which I will be doing another video on, the CDC, the Center of Disease Control, just announced that, if you are vaccinated and boosted and you catch COVID-19, any of the variants, you only need to quarantine or isolate for 5 days instead of 10 days, which I don't see how that is smart, healthy, or wise, seeing that a person can test negative, 2 days after exposure and then 6 days later be positive for COVID, because it can take a long time for the virus to incubate into your body and system. And then those of us that are vaccinated, so many of us are positive for COVID. We're just asymptomatic, so we don't have any symptoms flaring up that are noticeable to make us realize, I'm sick. So then you have that whole situation going on. And these jobs, once again, these jobs do not care. At my current job, I wear my mask every day while I'm at work, when I'm out in public, when I'm around other people. However, at my job, it's not required for you to wear a mask. It's not required for you to be vaccinated. So you're basically playing Russian roulette every damn day, and you're also playing Russian roulette with your family and loved ones, because again, if you have to physically get up and go to work, and then you have family members that you care for, you provide for, you love, and you're coming home from work, you're potentially putting them at risk. These jobs do not care. And again, where is the hazard pay? Where is the living wage? Okay? It's just really mind-boggling to me, like, the psychotic mess that's been going on the past 2 years, and then again, they want to keep saying everybody's leaving jobs. Yes, people are tired of working at places that don't care about them. People are tired of working 40 plus hours a week to still be living check to check. People are tired of watching taxes and deductions be removed from their damn monthly income. Because again, your gross monthly income is not what you actually bring home. Your net is what you bring home. And when I look at my net income, I'm losing damn near $1,000 a month in taxes and deductions. I'm just saying. And I don't really see how I'm benefiting. I don't have universal health care. The children in my community don't get to go to quality public schools. Have you seen Flint public schools lately? We're driving on potholes, bridges collapsing and falling apart. What police department? We've had we had 67 homicides in a city that barely has 100,000 people. But again, you're paying taxes. It's ridiculous. That's all I'm really getting at. Like, that's why people are leaving. Not to mention, I'm literally watching people that I personally know leave a job and start a new job. And the new job is offering a better pay, better work-life balance, work from home permanently, really good benefits. I got friends where they don't even have deductibles on their healthcare plans because their employer pays for it. Meanwhile, I'm over here with a $2,000 deductible. So, and once again, these jobs, you're barely making $2,000 a month, but you have a $2,000 deductible. It's really odd. And they really try to, hype you up on the low pay and the shitty wages. Oh, and the benefits that aren't really benefits. Like, I have to pay for my own short-term disability. So bi-weekly, twice a month, I have to pay $33 and some change for my own short-term disability. So I'm like, how is that a benefit to me when I have to pay for it? You're not giving me this. I have to pay out of my check, just like I have to pay for my own dental. Again, I thought we had healthcare, but we don't. It's more like a la carte. Anyways, but these are the so-called benefits, and then they're wondering why people aren't staying at these jobs, because these aren't really good working conditions, work environments. You know, the pay is shitty, the benefits are shitty. Again, we're working 5 days a week when really there might be 2 to 3 days worth of actual work. If you ever look at a lot of these jobs, there's not a lot of productivity going on. You know, really what it is it's a lot of busy work to make it seem like people are working. Okay? Because that's another thing I've noticed at this job. Every single month, there's a report that's due. Because let's be honest, what are you really doing? You're creating reports that need to be due every month and micromanaging because you know yourself, you're not really doing anything. Like, when you look at a lot of this, what's happening at these jobs, it's like they're literally coming up with things to do to justify people being there, because there really is no reason for us to be there 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. You know, there's just not. And even this, I got friends that are working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, you know, 50, 60, 70 hours a week. You'd be surprised. And again, even in these factories, what's the purpose of having all of these robots and machines and technology, yet still requiring people to work 6 and 7 days a week? It's insane. And then wondering why we can't keep COVID. We can't, keep it in track, why we're having all these issues. Well, the problem is going to keep happening because we refuse to re-examine our work culture and why, why is it that everybody... Think about it. When I was on unemployment, basically February through the end of April. Almost 3 months. Okay? And I was making roughly $1,135 every 2 weeks. I make $1,185 every 2 weeks. And I'm working 40 hours a week. Do you see why people don't want to work? I didn't have to worry about risking my life and putting my family's life in jeopardy. I wasn't showing up to sit behind a computer screen that I could do at home. I make $60 more, because with all the deductions and the taxes, I'm just literally my check is being gutted to shreds. I don't benefit from any of this. And then every day, you can see that there's better paying jobs that require less work. So it's like every day I'm like, okay, why am I staying here? I could be doing something else and making way more money and working from home. And, I'm looking at all of this and I'm just like, again, I see why people feel the way they feel. People are tired. People are fed up. It's clear as day that our current work system is a failure. Information will be in the description box below, links and articles. And as always, please investigate, do some critical thinking, and do your own research. The information is out there, okay? And I'm out.